Very big moment for America and maybe rest of the world as Donald Trump has been inaugurated as a 47th president of the United States. And we saw that attending was S. Jaishankar. He has signed multiple executive orders. That is very important to note. On day one as President, Trump has signed a huge amount of orders as a lot of people cheered on. Now remember, he signed many more orders after reaching the White House later in the day. Immediately after his inauguration, Donald Trump delivered his inaugural speech in which he announced the sweeping executive orders for day one on his second term. He followed that up with a second speech after witnessing the presidential parade, where he signed as many as 80, I repeat, 80 executive orders, and 100 have been signed to reverse actions taken by the Biden government. So that is a big update we're getting for our viewers right now. And he, in this 29-minute inaugural address that he made, Trump framed his victory as a mandate to reverse what he described as years of betrayal and decline. And he has also outlined an ambitious agenda vowing to reclaim the nation's identity and confront those he deemed responsible for undermining it. His message set the tone for a presidency aimed at enacting sweeping changes and consolidating his vision for the country. All right, we are being joined by guests right now, Mr. Arun Ayagiri, political strategist and analyst, joining us live from New Jersey. Very good morning to you for joining us here on Republic TV. And we have been discussing about the kind of impact that Trump would have after he takes over. Now that he has taken over, what do you really make out of the almost 100 executive orders that he has signed? And he had said to his voters that on day one, he will put his plans into action. He's also removed U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement. He made some strong statements, especially against Vladimir Putin. If you could take our viewers through, what do you really think is the tone that Trump is setting for his days ahead? Mr. Arun Ayagiri, can you hear us? All right, I think we're having some trouble getting to our guest who is in U.S. in New Jersey, and we will be coming back to our guest. We'll try to fix that for our viewers. But like I was telling our viewers a short while back, there has been a lot of statements that Donald Trump has made. U.S. President has expressed confidence about Denmark's eventual agreement regarding its intentions to acquire Greenland. He made these remarks while dismissing questions about potential military action to bring the autonomous Danish territory under American control. And he has also granted clemency to approximately 1,500 individuals who were involved in the Jan 6, 2021 siege of the U.S. Capitol, where his supporters attempted to challenge the 2020 election outcome. So, as I'm telling our viewers, day one has been quite intense in terms of the executive orders and the action that Donald Trump is taking. He's also signed the order to withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement. He signed an official communication to the UN informing the international organization about the decision to exit the Paris Agreement, which aims to decrease the greenhouse gas emissions responsible for climate change. So a barrage of orders. He also signed an executive order mandating all federal employees to return to office full-time. He has also signed first directive ordering restoration of free speech and ending weaponization of government. And so these are all the orders. Almost 100 orders have been signed by Donald Trump. And back-to-back updates coming in right now. And let's go ahead, viewers, because he has made some statements when he was inaugurated. Trump was inaugurated as the president of the U.S. Let's go ahead and play out those statements now.
Federal workers must return to the office in person. And we're going to take the 88,000 people that they hired to go after you with guns, by the way, they're allowed to use guns, and harass you like they were so many other people. Remember this. Okay, remember? Do you remember a little statement about tips? Does anybody remember that little statement? I think we won Nevada because of that statement. But they went out and harassed you over the tips. In other words, we are restoring control of our government to the people. We're going to take those 88,000. Let's see if they'd like to work on the border, because that's where we want them really involved. So I'm revoking nearly 80 destructive, radical executive actions of the previous administration. They'll all be null and void within about, 5 minutes? Is that them over there? 5 minutes? Tonight, I'm going to be signing on the J6 hostages, pardons, to get them out. And as soon as I leave, I'm going to the Oval Office. So I'm revoking nearly 80 destructive, radical executive actions of the previous administration. They'll all be null and void within about, 5 minutes? Is that them over there? 5 minutes?
All right, viewers, so those are the statements coming in from Donald Trump, and the big breaking update is that he has made a couple of decisions here. We are playing that out for you on a screen. Very important decisions have been made by Donald Trump, and he had promised he will go to work on day one, hit the ground running on day one. And in his inaugural speech, Trump has outlined a vision for an all-powerful presidency, vowing to take decisive action on issues such as immigration, tariffs, energy. And his promises to reshape America's future were underscored by his commitment to reversing policies set by the Biden administration, pursuing aggressive reforms aimed at reasserting American dominance on the global stage. And simultaneously with Donald Trump, we also saw that J.D. Vance was sworn in as the vice president, marking another significant moment in Trump's return to power. Vance, known for his populist views, is set to play a key role in advancing Trump's agenda during the second term. So back-to-back updates coming in right now, viewers, on Republic TV. And he has also made those statements which he played out. He said, my recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place. From this moment on, America's decline is over. So this is what he has said. He has made the statement that America's decline is over. And he also has spoken on Putin. So U.S. President Donald Trump has said that Vladimir Putin was destroying Russia by not making a deal to end the war with Ukraine. Back-to-back updates coming in at this point of time, and simultaneously we saw that the former President Joe Biden delivered a farewell speech at the Andrews Air Force Base, emphasizing the importance of perseverance and continued efforts. Even after leaving office, he expressed gratitude to his team, highlighting their efforts towards public service. Back-to-back updates here on Republic TV, and we can also tell you, viewers, that as we try to go back to our to get more updates and more perspectives on this, the entire world is waiting and watching as to what Donald Trump will do next, because day one has already been quite hectic and intense. Okay, we're getting some more breaking updates coming in right now. Let's go to some more breaking updates we're getting for our viewers right now. And as he has been making very, very important statements, he has vowed to end the Russia-Ukraine war as well. So this is one of the top updates we're getting for our viewers. We're getting to know that, remember that he had also hit out at Putin in his inaugural address. So he had hit out at Putin as well in his address. And he is saying that it's time that the Russia-Ukraine war comes to an end. So back-to-back updates coming in right now on Republic TV. He has earlier, remember, had said that he would also hold a meeting with Vladimir Putin. The new president of the US and his team have promised to hit the ground running, and they've signed a lot of executive orders. Ending the war in Ukraine has always been the top priority for Donald Trump, and in his inaugural address, he made that very clear. I just want to go back to our guest who's joining us, Mr. Arun Ayagari, political strategist and analyst, joining us again back from New Jersey. If you can hear me now, we had some trouble getting to you last time. I was asking you about the top orders, executive orders that he has signed. He has made some very powerful statements. He has hit out at Putin. He has said that I'll end the Russia-Ukraine war. He has pulled out U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement, and many more executive orders. What kind of tone do you think that Donald Trump is trying to set? Because day one has been quite intense already.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, congratulations to Mr. Trump for being elected for the second time as a president, commander-in-chief of the United States. So some of it is, I would say, is rhetoric, right? Minus all the rhetorical statements and extremities aside, I would say the most expected was the withdrawal from the Paris climate deal, right? That I think that was expected. He made pretty clear that he would do. I thought he would sign something on energy as well, banning wind energy and drilling locally or domestically. I expected that. I don't think I heard that. But aside, that's one thing. And the other thing is asking the federal workers to come back to work in person. That was one. And freeze on the recruitment and no more recruitments with the IRS. He's been mentioning that. And I think he alluded to tariffs as well. He undid some of the executive orders done by the former president as of today, Joseph Biden. He did that. So I think these are some important, and as of, I think, around 12 p.m. or around 1 p.m. Eastern time, the CBP, Border Protection Agency at the southern border, I think they stopped taking appointments. There's an app called CBP One mobile app. They stopped taking appointments from the southern border. I think this time we're seeing a more aggressive, more prepared, more ambitious, and proactive President Trump. I'm saying proactive because he's, as you guys know, he's been appointing people for various positions almost like 2 months ago, a month and a half to 2 months ago. So he's been pretty aggressive with that. He knew exactly whom he wanted. Unlike last time in 2017, January, I wouldn't say he was confused, but he was only aggressive, but he wasn't planned. This time he's aggressive, ambitious, and planned. I'm actually surprised that he did not bring up the Greenland deal from Denmark, and people are raving about him calling Canada as a 51st state. That is what I call that's a rhetorical, that's just a campaign rhetoric. He's a politician, so he has to appeal to his base. But aside from that, I think we see a much vivacious president. He is in action, and I do not expect any of these executive orders to stop. I was looking at the screens on Republic TV. The barrage, that's the right word for it. I see a barrage of executive orders, and especially on the first day. I think that's a lot. And I think more importantly, what he's trying to do is trying to send a message. Right? He's trying to send a message that I'm not going to be moderate, or I'm not going to be quiet this time. I will be aggressive in my fullest form, and that's a message he was trying to portray in the campaign. And I think he's keeping his word. Regardless, some section might like some of the orders, some section might not like these orders. But regardless, the truth and the fact is he is being aggressive and he's keeping his promise. Right? So that is what we're seeing here. As a president already.
All right, Mr. Arun, I agree. Just hold on for a second. I'll be back because we're getting some more breaking updates where Senate has voted to confirm Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. And this makes Marco Rubio the first Trump cabinet official to be approved. Big update coming in. Senate voted on Monday, last night in U.S., to confirm Marco Rubio as President Donald Trump's Secretary of State, the first high-level cabinet official for the new administration to be approved by the chamber. The confirmation vote took place just hours after Trump was sworn in as president. The overwhelmingly bipartisan vote was 99-0, with no senators voting against the nomination. And this is the big update coming in right now. Rubio confirmed as Secretary of State. If we go back to our guest on this, Mr. Arun, I agree. Rubio has gone from a Trump adversary to ally in recent years, and now he will be playing a very key role as a high-ranking official in Trump's new administration. We have seen in the past as well how many Trump adversaries have done a complete U-turn and turned into allies.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, I predicted I think we did one of the shows a few weeks ago, and I predicted Marco Rubio to be one of the cabinet positions. And if you notice, some of Trump's appointees have not been received pretty well by the House or the Senate, but Marco Rubio has been the least contentious of President Trump's appointees. And I'm not at all surprised. I don't think anybody would be surprised if Marco Rubio's appointment has been confirmed. So he has been in his good books pretty much, although he ran for president along with him some time ago, but he has always been in his good books. I don't think he ever annoyed or irritated Trump, so beyond any campaign trail experiences. I don't think I think he's been in good books. I'm not surprised. Even Kash Patel was on the receiving end of criticism. Matt Gaetz was on the receiving end of criticism. Even Pam Bondi to a little bit. So there were a few appointees who raised red flag in the Congress, but definitely not Marco Rubio. I think he's one of his favorites. Just like Vivek Ramaswamy is, I think Marco Rubio is also one of his favorites. So yeah, I'm not surprised. But again, like I said, you can see this man in action already. It's been just a few hours. He gave his inaugural speech and is going full blown in action. He also spoke about rebuilding the wall. There was the southern border is about 2,000 miles long from west to east. And I think about 300 to 400 miles work has been done already. I think he's also talking about rebuilding the wall. So that also needs to be seen where he goes with that promise. But mostly we are waiting, people in America are waiting for his iron fist on illegal immigration. More importantly, the end of birthright citizenship. I'm pretty sure that executive order will also come. If that comes, if that executive order is signed, that will show that Trump is working with an iron hammer, and that he's keeping his promises, the birthright citizenship. So that also is a very strong possibility. So he was talking about 100 days, the first 100 days. All the mainstream media, like New York Times, the Post, and all the news outlets have been talking about 100 days. But I think 100 days is too long now. This man is in action, and there you go. Oil production regulations eased. I read the screen here. Thank you for mentioning that. He's been talking about the drill, baby, drill for quite some time now. I was joking with some of my friends before. It's not just now. Even in his campaign trail, he mentioned drill, baby, drill, as to why we should depend, we meaning America, has to depend with such huge potential of natural resources, with oil, especially Alaska, Texas, a lot of places, Midwest. So why should America be energy dependent? So the goal is to be energy independent, and rightfully so. I think he is keeping his promise. But yeah, Trump will be Trump. I think it's hard to change your personality at this age. When you're in your 70s, you can't change that. But you can definitely have some lessons learned, and we see that. We see that with Trump already. So yeah, we're all looking forward to his future course of action.